All right, we are live. My name is Daniel. Welcome to the channel here. And today we have a great guest. We have the CEO of Wharf Street Studios, Mr. Venkatesh here. Thank you for joining me, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much, Daniel. Thank you for organizing this interview today on a Sunday. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Where
Yes.
are you located right now? Are you in London?
Right now, I'm in London. That's right.
Uh-huh.
I'm based out of London. Yeah.
So I saw you in DesignerCon. I didn't have a chance to talk to you, but did you have a good experience there? There was quite a few Vivi fam there. I was really surprised.
Yeah, it was a great experience, I would say, and it was one of the best events because we had our lead partner Ecomi VV there, and we got a lot of support and traction because of them. So I would give credit to them, and it really was a gracious event for us because our event it went out well, not only just because David was coming to our booth and talking about Epico Regal and the David Yu character. But then there was a lot of engagement, and we actually got some good, we got some good people to come on board with us as well because they really liked what we were showcasing at the event. And seeing the progress that where we were last year and where we are right now, that kind of put in confidence to the existing community as well.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. So let's just kind of get started. Some people may not know who you are and your
Mhm.
relationship with, Akomi and your own company, but can you please tell us just a little bit about yourself and your company and the projects you're involved in?
Right. So my company is Wharf Street Studios. This is We started the company back in 2019, where we started off with services such as animation services, 2D, 3D game development. Then we moved into augmented reality. We moved into virtual reality. Then recently into metaverse and NFTs. So starting off as a service company and then moving into a product, basically a brand by the name Epico. We came up with the first product under the Epico brand, which is Epico Regal, and it's on both Android and iOS as a game, mobile application game. With cinematic comics and a tower defense game with augmented reality collectibles. So this was the first application that we created, and myself, yes. So I'm based in London, and I'm an innovator in the UK. Why I'm called an innovator is because I was given the problem. I was given a task to basically solve problems and pain points of existing products, companies, and applications in the existing market. Come up with a disruptive solution that basically solves and addresses those pain points and problems, while it also adds to the UK economy. So I came up with a few solutions wherein I was talking about having the physical experience moving into a digital experience with Epico, the brand, and the benefits of metaverse and all emerging technologies on which my products are built. So I've been recognized and acknowledged as an innovator in the UK. So that's about me and the first product, Epico Regal, that we launched last year.
How is your game doing right now? I remember playing it a little bit in 2021 last year, early
Okay.
or late. Uh,
And did you uninstall it as well? Because it was crashing at that point of time, and it
yeah,
wasn't really doing great.
I thought it
Yeah,
was really fun actually, but what
yeah,
stopped me was towards the it took me a while to realize, but I realized I was fighting bots after a while. So then,
yeah, yeah,
that is
yes.
not the greatest experience, but when you're playing
Right.
players, it's very like exciting. So,
Right. So this was the case even with me. I'll be very honest. No, just because it's my game, I'm not going to say that I started playing it. It was amazing. No, no, that was definitely not the case. When we launched it, it was buggy. It was sloppy. It was crashing. There were many bugs. And even I got annoyed at one point, and I was like, "We can't launch a game like this." And in November, December, at that point of time, the VV community and the Calescope community, there were quite some players who started playing, and they started commenting and they started reporting bugs. And then I was really interested at that point that at least for these 5 or 10 people who are actually showing interest in my game, I need to get back and start playing the game. So at that point of time, I started playing the game actively, and I started challenging all these players, because we used to connect on and off. I'm talking about real time, right? So then it started like a real time game, where we are connecting with live players. Yes, the fact that playing against bots was really not something I was impressed with. And I was kind of hard on with my team that we should fix this as soon as possible, and we basically should give a good we should give a great user experience by having some good engagement with real players. And then yes, in Feb, when we announced the Ecomi partnership, that's when I did a tweet, and the game went viral. I had to take down the tweet because David requested me to take it down at that point of time, because honestly, when I wasn't very sure of how exactly this partnership is going to work, and David was like, I don't know how you're going to make this work, because it's not the OMI utility is being questioned since quite some years, and you're shouldering this onto you. So I was
Yeah.
like, I like challenges, and this is what I mean, even known for in the UK, to accept challenges, to solve problems, to come up with innovations, to come up with disruptive solutions that will basically add value. So I thought this is something where it's a pain point for Ecomi with the OMI utility, and I thought that let me create a link to it with my game. And I'm really happy that the designer con went really well, and we have bagged
Right.
around close to 7 million OMI tokens through our NFTs. So yes, I mean, I'm happy this partnership worked out, and David was really impressed. He was like, wow, you made it
Yeah.
work finally.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, with the game, yes, the game is doing good now. Again, in the month of April, May, June, and July, I think these 4 months, the game was at peak, and it was revenue generating. We had close to 40, we had more than 40,000 plus downloads. However, in the month of August, we saw a decline because we were moving from PHP stack to Node.js. So when we did this migration, I was really afraid, because I thought that if we mess up anything with the data, then the players might get upset. Then we might actually we basically are answerable to them. So I just wanted that this migration happens like with a lot of we do it vigilantly and diligently, because
Hmm.
the data part was a very big concern for me. However, it went smooth, and we got a few bugs, and it's basically it was like a hilarious episode, because when I started playing the game after the migration, there was this there were these archers in the game, basically Karna and Satyaki, who would just stand behind the opponent's tower and then start destroying their opponent's tower. So if I connected to a real player, they would simply place these two archers behind their towers, so I cannot attack them, and my towers would just get destroyed. And that was like a very funny bug. And there was another bug wherein the beam lights were thrown all over by Garuda and like the other creatures, and it would just blow up the towers from a distance where you cannot even attack. So when we came across these scenarios, we actually we were a little disappointed, but then we couldn't actually capture these scenarios while testing it in the staging phase. However, the community, I really thank the community for all the support, especially the top 20 to 50 players. They have been playing the game more than me. I've just before this interview, I played the game. I got beaten by Dennis Reynolds a couple of times because it's been a long time since I played, and I was like, no, okay, I need to change my strategy and I need to get back. So hopefully by the end of this month, I'll be in the top 10. And yeah, I mean, it's been a great experience. And now since the build is stable and it's migrated on Node.js, the latency has improved, the performance is really good, the game is really smooth, except for some minor bugs which we will fix in the upcoming build. And yeah, I mean, it's done well basically. And again, since last week, again, basically the downloads have started to go up, and it's back to normal.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. I did have a question. Kind of wondered this for quite some time, but you talked about your Akomi partnership with
Yeah.
your with Epico Regal, and can you just tell us kind of the main reason why you decided to partner with Akomi? I know you and David, Dan Crothers, you guys are very close, but what was kind of the major reason why you decided to partner with them?
The question should be, why would you not partner with someone like David or Ecomi or Vivi? Because if somebody tells you, hey, I'm signing brands like Marvel, DC Comics, Disney, would you want to do a partnership with me? Anyone would go for it, right?
Right,
There's
of
no
course.
question of giving it a thought or thinking why you wouldn't go for a partnership with them. David is an amazing person. You would have seen it even in the designer con, the way they love the VV fam showered onto him, and they were all like, he was just being crowded every time he was at the booth. It's because David's an amazing person. Firstly, the other thing is it's a big brand. It's a privilege. It's an honor for me to get partnered with them. So I really appreciate David's modesty and his humbleness for basically partnering with us, because at that point of time people were like, okay, they have big brands, why are they partnering with Epico Regal? And David, he basically did it to help us out, and he saw the potential because I'm a person, I built my studios, and I always delivered to David whatever I said. Since the past 5 years, I've been doing multiple. I've worked on multiple fronts with David, and I've always delivered. So that's one credit. That it's basically credibility, and then trust, and there's friendship. There's also the business aspect to it. But yes, it's a lovely brand to get partnered with, and lovely people. It's a lovely. The partnership itself is really something that I appreciate and I'm happy about.
Yeah. So, on one hand, you guys are getting a lot of value from Akomi because you get access to the VV fan base, which is pretty large, and pretty
Yeah.
zealous. How is Epico Regal delivering value for those new VV users that are going to enter into your ecosystem as a result?
So we have created Epico NFTs for all the VV fam who have come on to Epico Regal, and we have created a utility for all the NFTs. So most of the NFT projects basically have the issue of not having any utility. So before we reverse engineered it, where we created the utility first, and had a well thought session on how exactly the utility would work. What would be the use of the NFT? What should be the price? Should we price it really high or low? Why? When would be the right time to launch it? All these questions. So the value that I basically have added to the VV fam is by creating a utility for the OMI token, and we being the first to provide an OMI utility. That's the first value, and there are many other fronts where we can add value to David, and we are in discussions. So maybe at a later point of time we can add some more value by coming up with some more solutions to the VV community. Right now, for example, they're fixing the web application. There are some issues. We are trying to help them by giving them some feedback, and where they can improve. The login has some issues, and some fam were complaining about it, but I think they're working on it, and they're going to fix it. So I do even maybe sometime it's like a part-time moderation for the VV community, because they keep contacting me when anything happens with VV. So I'm trying to add as much value as I can, and if there's any pain point that I see in VV, now that's how I can basically give some value to them. And yes, with the OMI token again, we collecting, let's say now we are close to 7 million OMI tokens. When we have let's by the end of September, if we have like 10 million OMI tokens, then 2 million will be burned.
Hmm.
Sorry, 2 million will be distributed to the VV fam and Caloscope and Epico Regal fam, those who participate in the tournaments. And then we have we also have 10% going back to Ecomi so that they can burn it
Wow.
according to the VV NFTs, VV collectibles sold. So that's the way we have created the system so that it is sustainable. And again, anyone who purchases any NFT, they basically get in-game assets. They get rewards. So that's basically how we've gamified it and added value to the VV fam.
Gotcha. You mentioned about kind of the pain points that VV users have, and
Yeah.
kind of the biggest pain point for a lot of VV users for that application is that there seems to be a lot of delays within the project. There's a lot of things like the web app took a while. We still have a search bar that doesn't work too well. You having more of a technical background, can you explain maybe what VV is maybe going through in terms of their delays? Is it something that they're putting a pause on certain features, or is the technical team just kind of backlogged with a lot of work? What's kind of the issue with the VV app from your perspective?
Basically, they had a lot on their plate, and now they are resolving it one by one. So as per my discussion, even with David and the other VV team that came to DesignerCon, so they're working on all the issues one by one, and we can definitely see progress in the month of in Q4 of 2022.
Mhm.
That's basically what I would say, because their technical team, they've basically hired some more devs, to speed up the process and deliver. So they're basically working on it, and hopefully in Q4 2022 we will see some great progress within the project itself.
Do you think that the VV app got too big too fast?
Not necessarily, because they when you get some traction, and VV was is even now it's like grossing in the top 10 sometimes, some months. So when you're dealing with big brands, and when you have basically a big goal to achieve, then these things take time. So I don't think they've actually scaled, because again, David has been working on this since like good 3-4 years, before he got the IP. It's not like he just got it, and he got everything in 2021 and he launched it or something. He's
Right.
been traveling. He's been constantly jumping on meetings, on calls, and trying to get these IPs, because it's not easy. How quick just if you ask yourself how easy it is to get an IP of Disney or Marvel or DC Comics, for example. They're like good 70 plus brands that they have. So if you're talking about like getting all these brands and their IP and then dropping them, and doing all of that, yes, you sign it, like Richard Branson says, first sign your contracts, and then get the required team, and then expand. Because if you do it the other way around, then you'll start burning. But at least here you have an IP, you have something on board with you, you have the value that you can showcase, and then you can go and find out the solution to like fix meet the requirement of the contracts that you signed. Yeah.
Interesting. Y- getting all these licenses, like you say, is very, very, very difficult. Uh, what do you think was kind of the motivating factor for a lot of these big brands like Disney, Marvel, all these brands to partner with David and his really a startup, right? I mean, even last year you could have said that Vivi was probably a startup in nature. Is it just David's vision? What do you think it caused them to sign over with him?
So with David, the reason, like I mentioned previously, the reason why David signed a partnership with us is because of the bond, the trust, the reliability that basically the bond that we developed in the past 5 years, right? So that's the reason why he signed with Epico Regal and Wall Street Studios. Now, when you talk about why these bigger brands signed with David, the reason is because he's been in the space since like good 15 years. And he knows, people know him, and the way he talks, the way he approaches them, the way he like does any kind of business like transactions, or he has that reliability, he has that trust built. People are confident with by they're confident to assign such big brands to David. So it's basically the credibility that he has built in the market that has helped him to sign these big brands.
Okay, gotcha. Maybe switching gears a little bit, you
Mm.
have your Epicoverse, and can you tell us what your vision is for your game? I know the metaverse is kind of a very popular buzzword nowadays, but how do you anticipate your company being able to deliver value and produce a very, very good metaverse?
Yeah, we have developed a metaverse. It's like very good quality. uh, Definitely we did not spend 10 billion like Mark Zuckerberg did. We did not have that much we didn't have that funding. But we have developed a good demo, and we created it on Unreal Engine. So like I mentioned, I basically like to venture into emerging technologies. And I thought that it was time for us. We've built the game on Unity, and to create the Epicoverse, we don't want to be doing it on Unity. So I basically wanted that the Epicoverse is created on Unreal Engine, which is again an add-on to our ecosystem and to our brand Epico. Now with Epicoverse, yes, we have created about 7 to 8 avatars, because the augmented reality characters that we have on Epico Regal, the game, are like a 3D model, and they are different to what is needed for a metaverse avatar. So in Epicoverse, we have achieved about 8 avatars so far, and we have created about 5 monuments. So if you see the demo that we have released, in the demo UI UX screens, you can see that you will need to sign up, and then you can select the avatar, and then you can select the monument, sign the terms, and then go inside the Epicoverse and explore the monument. At a later point of time, we will also have like multiplayers, and we are working on the gameplay. And we are working on like skins and all of that, so this will take us some time. But Q1 2023, we should have the first version out, which would obviously, I presume it might be buggy, and there might be some performance issues. And the community, again, thanks to the community, who always, they come up with a lot of issues and bugs, and in a very friendly and a constructive manner. So I really appreciate them for that, which and this helps us to improvise our applications. So in Epicoverse, again, we will have the gameplay, we will have some tasks, we'll have some dual battles, wherein they can probably earn some OMI tokens, they can earn some NFTs. And we are also talking to a blockchain which is new in the space, and we so in our Epicoverse, we will have like a verification layer with this blockchain. We are yet to sign the agreement and onboard this blockchain, which we will know in the upcoming week. So this blockchain is again a blockchain which works like a verification layer. So all the users who come on board and want to access the Epicoverse need to get themselves verified. And this blockchain, I was actually impressed by the way this blockchain works, wherein your details, part of your details are actually like covered or hidden. And that's how they verify it, and after that you can transact on that blockchain. So Epicoverse is partnering up with that blockchain company, so that we can integrate it into our system. We are not going to integrate any other blockchain like we had Polygon in the past, but this blockchain would be different from this would be a new blockchain wherein we would have verified users, just to avoid bots or spam, or like spam users, or like maybe some scammers to come on board in Epicoverse and create a chaos.
Is the metaverse going to be AR and or not?
It's a for now it's basically a web version that we are targeting to do, and then at a later point of time we can have it in AR and in Oculus. That wouldn't
Oh
be an
wow.
issue. Yeah, we would do that. Yeah, and one update I would want to give is even for the board game that we are creating. So it's not going to be just a board game. At a later point, we will be announcing it. The game that we have created would be available on Amazon, and we would basically 3D model it, and users can play Epico Valley, which is the board game in Oculus. So we are targeting to do that as well, which is again a value add to the community and the brand Epico.
When you describe Epicoverse, it sounds in some ways there's some parallels to what we've heard about the VV-verse. Even the name is somewhat similar.
Yeah.
I think VV has talked about being on Unity, maybe switching to Unreal Engine, just like you guys. Is there going to be a partnership between Epico Regal's verse and VV's VV-verse?
With the reason why we are creating Epicoverse is because we have some other brands, not VVverse, but we have some other brands who also want to build their metaverse with us, and they want to integrate it into our ecosystem. So the reason why we want to have Epicoverse to be built is because of these brands, not necessarily VVverse, because VVverse is again something we have not confirmed, and I don't want it to get into trouble. David and his team will again start chasing me in Comic-Con, which I don't want. So I think I'm not going to say anything about it, because honestly, I don't know anything about Pokemon, or I don't know anything about VVverse. To be very honest, I just saw a video on YouTube, and it was a slip of the tongue, and I got into trouble for that. So I'm not going to say anything about it. I mean, trouble as in with I didn't get into any trouble. Basically, I just enjoyed it because it was free marketing for Epico Regal and myself. I got famous like in 3 days or 4 days just before the designer con event. So I appreciate the person who actually leaked the video for no reason, and it basically gave me free marketing. I think we got like 25 to 30,000 views. So I highly appreciate that person, and even there was another YouTuber who did it. So thank you to both of them. That's it. I didn't get into any trouble because I didn't say anything. Basically, I basically even replied to them that, see, there's a YouTube video that came out, so you can go and see it for yourself. If you put terminology saying, oh, this guy did this, he spoke to somebody else, he gave some information. I didn't do anything. Basically, I saw a video which is available live. It was on YouTube, which I posted. So even with the VVverse, I think when David says, okay, Venkatesh, I'm going to sign this, I'm going to do this, only then I'll be able to comment anything about VVverse. But yes, with Epicoverse, we have some other brands, big brands, who have, we are yet to sign them also. And they want to build their metaverse with us. Yes.
I had a question here. How do you think the bear market has affected not only your plans, but, other projects like Ecomi and VV? Has this been negatively impacting your business at all?
Okay, for Epico, the brand, we reverse engineered it, right? So we did not create the NFTs first and then the utility. So we did not pump any price. We did not launch our token. We didn't do anything. We focused on the product. We focused on the technology. We fixed everything ground up, and then we came up with our NFTs, which are again low priced. Again, with our token, we will launch it on L Bank. And we are also in talks with Gate.io. So hopefully we will launch it next quarter. Because we have not launched anything and it's not highly priced, it's hardly going to impact us because we have just started. So in this market, we're just going to enter. And when it goes up, we will also go up. But yes, again, OMI, we have come up with the utility. I'm really happy that it worked out. Even bagging 7 million OMI, just in 10 days since we launched, that's a very good start. And we would be rewarding users. And I hope that, this utility of OMI, it increases over time. And we can actually bring value to the OMI token with other utilities as well, maybe in Epicoverse, with Epico Valley. So that's where I see it. And the bear market is again an opportunity than a disaster, because this is where people with vision people with a strong instinct, they need to get into the market and they need to launch their products or their applications. Because if you see, back then in 2009, that's when Facebook or all these other big brands like Tesla, all of them, that's when they actually got in, and they started building their products, and see, they've touched the billion-dollar mark, right? They're
Right.
multi-billion-dollar companies. So this is a time where you should get in. You should have the confidence in whatever you're building, or your product, or or your brand, and you need to launch your product or token or NFT, and you need to go for it. Yes.
I want to switch gears and talk about your token a little bit.
Yeah.
I know it launched actually last year, late last
Hmm.
year, September
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
The
Yeah. Yeah.
Epico token. Can you first tell us a little bit about that? How you're going to use that for your ecosystem? And I have a second question related to that. Is a lot of people, you may have designs for it to be more of a utility token, but there's a lot of people who buy it as an investment. Can you tell us a little bit about that mentality? Is that what you intend your token to be, somewhat of an investment or pure utility token play?
Okay, so I'm not looking for building a product or a business where I monetize from my users. Definitely not something I am looking for. I want to create a legacy with the brand Epico. Yeah, just like Disney started at some point, just like Marvel started at some point, just like DC Comics started at some point. Epic. This is the start for Epico, and VV has given us a very good leverage, and they have supported us really well. Now if you talk about our token, so our token has some utilities, and the reason why we are launching our token is to give early access, and to actually give a utility wherein they can benefit. So we want to bring in governance with our brand Epico and all the products within it. Now, for example, we have such an engaging community and a supportive community. So this community also gives us a lot of feedback. So there's a channel on Discord where our community gives us a lot of feedback. So with this feedback, they actually come up saying that this character shouldn't be there, or this character looks like a copy, maybe you should revamp this character, or this character looks amazing, he should be there, why don't you launch this character, why don't you bring in this mythology. So we interact with our users. Now for example, a person like me, a gamer like me, yeah, I used to play Supercell and the games in it, but I never got that the chance to interact with Supercell and give them feedback or something. They wouldn't
Right.
even they would never reply, right? But with us, we are more community driven. And the other thing with our game is that we have even structured a DAO. So that is the other thing that I wanted to announce, that we have like a DAO structure in place that we will be announcing in Q4 of this year. So apart from the blockchain that we are going to partner with and build in Epicoverse, we also have a DAO structure for our token. So all those who purchase our tokens, they will be part of the governance, decentralized autonomous organizations.
Mhm.
So they will be part of our system, wherein they will, the more they hold, they will have more voting rights, and even they basically can participate in giving us constructive feedback, or any suggestions, any recommendations, which we will take and try to implement in the game. So that's the main reason for launching our Epico token, because it's for the DAO, yeah, that
Okay.
we are creating. Yeah.
Can you, I did see that in your white paper and I was very interested in that. Can you tell us about, some of the features of the DAO? What are some of the benefits maybe token holders would have in the outcome of your game a little bit?
So we have not finalized the DAO. We're actually
Okay.
structuring at the moment, because let's say there is someone who bags a lot of tokens, yeah, and then he wants to dump it. He's bagging it for the sake of dumping it. Then we are trying, when we create a structure, we basically want to have a structure which is robust, and we can avoid those trying to abuse the DAO system, right? So we are still working on the DAO structure.
Okay.
And I was even I attended an event of Tezos back in 2018 or 19, I believe. There, I really liked what they were doing, and I think this DAO concept has come from that structure of Tezos, where everyone in the network, they basically do tasks, and they start to earn and they get rewarded, and anyone who tries to abuse, they kind of blacklist from the network. So I want that even those who are contributing, those who are having tokens, it's well planned and then only announced. So at the moment we are still working on it, and probably in the next month, yeah, I have a lot planned. Before I receive the Barclays Award, I'm happy that I received a post from them. This is the Barclays Entrepreneur
Oh,
Award. It's
nice.
a big deal, and they were literally like they were almost, I think. I'm just give me a minute. There were almost thousands of submissions that were there, and they also gave me this. So I'm really happy. Thank you, Barclays. If you're watching this, Barclays, thank you. I don't drink. I'm an orange juice and Red Bull guy, but anyways, I'm happy that they give it. I'll probably, if somebody comes home, then I can just offer it to them. Again, I've planned a lot for the 18th and 20th of November, again, where VV will be present in Designer Con Anaheim. I'll come up with something where I can annoy David, maybe. But at the same time, I'm looking forward to giving a lot of updates. Um, with the DAO structure, with the blockchain that we are building with Epicoverse. So these are some things I'm definitely interested in announcing. But I don't want to just say something and then my team comes after me and then David comes after me. So I'm just going to give you superficial information in this video. I've decided.
Sure. Yeah, that's
So
good.
yeah, we'll stick to that. Yeah, and obviously, if there's any update, we would publish a Medium article, and the community can definitely wait for the DAO structure that we're going to publish along with the blockchain that we are going to partner in the upcoming few weeks. Yeah.
I saw a comment question, and it's something I wanted to talk about. And I'm also going to address some of the comments we've had as well. So if you
Okay.
guys are waiting, just hold on for a little bit.
Yeah.
But do you see VV Collectibles eventually being sold on the marketplace? Your marketplace?
This is again, it's totally in David's hand, and
Yeah.
I'll just wait for David to come back on this. But but I can tell you, this is again a joke. There's no confirmation. There's no confirmation. David was the one who came to my booth and started telling everybody that, hey, this guy is selling my face. This guy is selling my face, and he basically said that I'm going to drop it on VV and all, and I told him that the IP is mine because the content is the content is totally mine, right? Because we modeled it, we put the VV the logo, and we gave him such a beautiful face in the model also, and he's a superhero. He's the first superhero in our game. So so I'm happy if he does that. I'm just waiting to hear back from David, probably maybe after I'm meeting him in Comic Con. If he has any update, then I'm happy to listen and announce it. If there's any update in Comic Con, from David, then we can get on another interview, and I can announce it then.
Sure.
But as of now, there's nothing. There's nothing.
Did David get any kickbacks for like royalties for you selling his NFT?
No. He hasn't got anything. He hasn't got anything because he didn't believe. He thought that I was joking. So it was a joke. That's what I'm saying. The partnership itself was it was like a joke for him, and he was like, I don't know how you're going to implement it, man. It's a big thing that you're going to shoulder, and I was like, if I solve a problem, that's how I go up the ladder. So I see that this is a problem, and this is a challenge, and this is an opportunity for me. If I'm able to solve this, then definitely I'm going to like scale up my studio and my brand Epico. So yes, yeah. So he basically, so I obviously, I'm giving back 10% to Ecomi, right? So whatever I collect, he gets 10% from
Right.
that. But specifically to the David, I think we need to sit down and discuss that with David. So he basically let me go off with this. So I'm just waiting for him to get back, and obviously, when we do well, he's done so much. We have leveraged so much on David and Vivi and Ecomi, and I'm happy to do anything for David.
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
Some people are talking about interoperability, and just kind of in a very generic way, people are asking for interoperability for their digital assets. A lot of people just think of it in terms of, I want to be able to sell it on OpenSea and get a bunch of ETH or something. But where do you see interoperability going with your assets, Vivi's assets, just in general? What does that really mean for you as a CEO?
With the marketplace that we have created, so in my marketplace, you have ETH, you have USDT, you have USDC. I think one of the pair, I think USDT is still being worked on. There's some issue with the integration, and we have mailed out to the USDT team. But then, if you talk about like other transactions where you have ETH, yeah. So ETH is available on our marketplace and even on OpenSea. So someone who purchases anything on OpenSea, right? We have given permission for Epico Regal profile. Anything that's sent from Epico Regal's profile onto our marketplace, that will be tradable. So I I don't know if it's I should even share it, because this was actually funny. What happened is, when we were in the Web3 gallery, which was again a very unexpected joke pulled off by Kirk, which became a reality, and we were presenting Vivi, and I said the P word, all of this basically, and I got famous. But then, jokes apart, like this person actually comes up to me. I don't know if he was drunk, but he says, "Hey, I like the Calescope egg," and I was like, "Very good." And he's like, "I purchased 4." I'm like, "Cool." And then he's like, "But actually, I got 2 for free." And I was like, "Oh, tell me about it." And he's like, I basically put 2 in the secondary market for double the price, and someone purchased it, right? And I walked off with 2 free eggs. And then he was laughing and he just left. So so you see, I mean, that was when we actually launched the marketplace, and people started trading, and they were doing stuff which I didn't expect would go off so smoothly. However, it did, and it was pretty cool, to be honest.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So Ann1 Kenobi says, "Hi, Venkatesh. Great to meet you at DCon with my daughter, who you
Okay.
gave stickers to. The project vision is brilliant. Looking forward to investing
Nesting.
VW."
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you kind of answered this question, Brother Venkatesh. Why did you say the P word, and what did David say to you about it? You
No,
kind of talked about this.
Riz was trying to give me one whack, but I just escaped it. But then David was, David didn't actually say anything because he was busy. He was a celebrity back in Designer Con, right? So he didn't actually have the time to come and ask me, "Hey David, hey Venkatesh, I have a serious question. Why did you say the P word?" He didn't do that. So I'm pretty cool. I'm waiting for David to get back on that question. Yeah. And then I basically had the David use NFT and collectible there, so he probably was mesmerized by the value add I gave for him and made him a superhero. So he was just a celebrity, and after this he also became a superhero. So so yeah, I mean,
Awesome.
yeah, he didn't say anything. He let me go. Yeah.
I'll wrap this up here pretty soon. I just have just a question I wanted to ask you, but
Yeah.
it seems like you and Dan and David especially are really, really close. How did
Yeah.
you guys meet? Like, did you guys meet in uni or?
No. We didn't meet in uni at back in 2017. So David is actually much bigger and elder to me. He looks very young and like a
He does look
boy, but he's like in his 40s, and he's a superhero. I know that, but he's aged, but he has a lot of experience that he holds, and he keeps giving constructive feedback, suggestions, recommendations, and David, you again. In the month of I think towards Q4 of 2017, that's when I was introduced to David from another through another friend. and then he was basically looking for some value add to the project at that point of time, Orbis. And that's when I got introduced to him, and we basically did a few things together after that. And then David basically saw that I am someone reliable, and he can trust. So yes, we came up with a partnership, but yes, it's been like a good 5-year journey with David. So yeah, that's about my and like David's relation. Yeah. And even
Gotcha.
I met I traveled once in 2018 to Taiwan to meet David and Dan. And again in 2019, um, he basically came. I traveled to Taiwan again, so I met him twice in Taiwan, and then he came here to London, and that's when I met him as well. So that way is I kept showing him what I'm building, the quality that I can actually give to his project, and anything that he gives me, anywhere he can help me, because I I'm actually I there are loads of OMI holders in Middle East, and they all are like after me now. They're like, dude. Why am I not getting verified? You need to speak to David. You need to speak to David. I bought so many collectibles on Weave. I have submitted my bills and like the phone bill or whatever, but they want the address. And they recently sent me all the documents and like, please sort us out. We love VV, and it's growing, and we want to get back into the app. We want to get verified as soon as possible. So yeah, I mean, I helped him wherever I can. In India, there are multiple people who purchased to me, and even bought loads of VV collectibles. And again in UK and in Europe, I and in Middle East, I basically tried to just market VV. I even distributed the secure wallets back then in 2018 at an event in Monaco, which I went. So I've been doing everything that I can from VV for VV and Ecomi. But yes, I mean, it's been a great experience with David, and it's great to knowing. It's really great to know and come in contact with someone like him, because he's a wonderful person, and it as you were there in the Designer Con event when you interacted with him. He's great to be around with as well.
Yeah.
He's more than a partner, or more than a. He's like a very good friend as well. Yeah.
My last question here is: do you hold Omi tokens, and personally? And if you
Uh-huh.
do, what is the value equation you see with it?
Not personally, because see, at one point I had VV collectibles, I had OMI tokens, but then I have my own operations for my my company and my brand. So I wanted to put in my money there. So that's the reason I had to give my OMI tokens to somebody else who haven't dumped it, and it's still there with them. So I had to utilize it to help my business.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, this was long back in 2019. After that, I did not actually get time to venture into any other project or invest in anything else, because I had loads on my plate. As you can see,
Yeah.
my brand itself, there's a physical aspect to it, there's a board game, there's merchandise, then there are 3 digital products. We are now targeting to launch a 3D movie, which would come out
Wow.
in Q4 of 2023. So there's quite a lot that's going on. But then if you talk about what I've done, then basically I've just created the David U collectible with the VV logo on it, and that's my value add, and to bring some more enthusiasm within their community. So that's basically what I have contributed, I would say. And to be very honest, I think even I'm just pulling up numbers, because I think the David U it really went well. There's, I think, half the quantities, not half, I think 30% of it is sold on OpenSea, and even on Epico Market. the Davidu NFT. The 3D one is also, there's been like a good amount of sales done on OpenSea and Epico Market. On OpenSea, though, we did do like giveaways to those who are holding the Davidu NFTs, and four more Epico NFTs other than the Davidu NFT. We incentivize them with the free 3D Davidu and the golden Davidu as a and like goodwill. We basically, we wanted to incentivize all those who are showing support, all the top players in our game, and even the influencers. I believe you will receive a golden Davidu, and that as
Oh
well
wow.
for goodwill. Yeah, I mean, all those who have created videos and they have actually spoken about our brand. I even am happy to give away the person who created the p word video. I'm happy to give it to him. Yeah, he basically gave me like 30,000 views for free, so
Yeah.
I don't mind, like if he connects, then I'll give him a free golden you David, that I'm fine with. So yeah.
So, what's on your itinerary for your company? Where can we find you? I know you're going to a couple events like
Yeah, yeah.
DesignerCon in Anaheim. Can you tell us where you're going?
Yeah, that'll take me some time because there's quite a lot of like trips scheduled. So from here, I fly back to Mumbai. I'm just meeting my team before I fly out to Singapore. Singapore, we have the Token 2049 where I'm just attending. Then there is Metacon in Korea. So I have like a community
Wow.
of 50 people in Singapore. Before I fly to Korea, I would just like have an event with them. And they have some queries, and some purchase my board game, so I will be giving it to them. Then we also have Metacon in Korea, where I will be flying down, and we have a few meetings there scheduled, apart from just the event. And then David invited me to Comic Con. Riz told me that Comic Con would be great to come and like check out. And there's a story behind New York which I will share maybe later on. But again, I'm going to New York on the 6th from Korea directly. I will go to New York, and I will be there till the 10th for Comic Con, and I'll be with Vivi, and just like interacting and trying to build some network, talk about my brand probably if I'm given the chance. Maybe meet some people from Marvel, DC Comics, Disney, and all these other big brands. Maybe the P people are there as well. They'll definitely definitely they will be there. So I'd meet them. Then on the 10th, I'm flying back to Dubai. I have a few partnerships that I've signed. I just need to go and like meet them in person. I have a few investors, and then I'll be flying back to India after that. And from 23rd, from 20th, I'll be back in London because I hopefully I'll be receiving this award from
Yeah.
Barclays. So I'm looking forward to that. And after that, I think we have two more events. One is the Token 2049 in London on the 9th and 10th, and we have Designer Con in Anaheim, California. That's on 18th to 20th November. Right.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that's my schedule for the next 2 months, and I think that's a lot. That's a
It
lot on my
is.
plate. I need to actually, but I won't even catch up by playing the game. So I look forward to being in the top 10 of Epico Regal soon. I've started playing. Hopefully, I'll play for maybe a couple of hours today, and I will be consistent from now because the game is actually smooth. Definitely try it out. And yes, David, we would have the character David you launched in the game. We are pushing for Comic Con, so
Wow.
probably by that time, by October 6th, we will be able to launch it for Comic Con. And yes, like even our tokens, Epico tokens, the utility and all of that will be announced just about our token, because right now even some of them have purchased our token from our marketplace. And when we get listed on LBank, maybe by that time, then that's another announcement. My character's final concept art will be released, and maybe if my team is fast enough to develop the 3D model, then we'll do a drop. Maybe, I'm not sure, but yes, these are the things that are planned. We have again a build that is coming out with two more characters, Indra and Prithvi. So these are two characters that will be launched in the game with the next build release. So look forward to these two characters. Maybe I can use them against OBTS or Dennis Reynolds to win against them. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll put some links to your game and also things about you down below. So if people want to check this out later, it'll be available for people to watch later as well. So
Right.
anyways, I appreciate your time. Thank you
Yeah.
for hanging out with me today.
Yeah.
Guys, check him out, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Daniel. Thank you everyone for watching this. Have a great day.